This is Boba Fett. His big brother's name was Jango Fett. We're Star Wars nerds. So I finally found out how many rides it takes to actually wear out the battery on your controller. My ride log showed 28 rides had expired before it finally showed the battery symbol when I was out on my ride for the controller. It didn't give up on me, and I wasn't willing to find out what happens when you run it completely dead of juice. So I decided that at the moment where the controller said, I'm out of power now, for reals I'm out of power, I decided that was when I would choose to charge. I'm going to show you, I've had some questions about the controller for a lot of us who were bought in at Lift 3, even Lift 4. A lot of us just stuck with a standard remote. We didn't want to spend an extra grand on something that was more complex than it needed to be. But now we're all going to be on these. If you upgrade to a 5, you're on one of these. So let's learn about them. They are incredibly easy to read even when you wear polarized sunglasses. So let's get this synced to my nice, beautiful yellow board. This is currently synced up to my red board, my Lift X. And I'm just going to hit this middle button. That's how you select. It's going to show this symbol. And we'll see that the board is blinking blue, or hopefully you can see that the board's blinking blue. And it makes some happy symbols. We get the nice checkbox, our happy tone, and we see this nice checkbox. And we are now synced up. I'm going to move my feet away from the board, and the throttle works. So this board is now synced up. Let me show you some of these other settings. When you first come into the board, it looks like this. Here's your virtual gear. It goes up and down with these buttons just like we showed before. There's your miles per hour. There's your battery on the board. Here's your, and then up here is the battery on the controller. The battery on the controller is a little bit hard to see, but you can tell that I'm at about 50% full. And you can see that there is one satellite symbol here. I have no idea what this arc does. I've never noticed it filling up with colors. I don't know what it means. It might mean nothing. It might just be separating the... I don't know what it is. I actually don't know, because I've read no manuals on this, as I never do. If I can't figure it out, then it must not matter. All right. So I'm going to turn this up to 11 here. Now, if I were to hold down this button, top one is syncing to the board. We're going to go down one. Yep. And I'm always going to default to this one because to me that is next page button. Going down. That symbol's auto brightness darkness. So there's all these symbols. I have no idea what they mean. This is full brightness. Let's try that for a while since I'm shooting a video. Probably want it fully bright. Neat. To set it, hit the middle button. Next, I'm going to hit the down button, not the next button. That is always going to confuse me. Now, if I hit the middle button to change this miles per hour, I will hit it a lot of times. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Don't know why. It's just not responsive. I can switch to kilometers or miles per hour. We are going to go into I. This should tell us our EHC software, board software, battery software, and motor software. Are they up to date? I have no idea. 3, 4 attempts, and then my brain finally figured it out, and it'll reset the next time I go into this menu. This last one is update, yes or no. I mean, there's no internet where I am. What the heck? Let's try it. Let's update it. It doesn't really tell you if it needs updating. It doesn't really tell you much of anything. It's like, I think whatever software's on the controller, it's going to try to load to the box. Now, currently, this one, it was rigged up to be used with the Lift X. So hopefully it doesn't now make this board think it's Lift X. That would be weird. Then I would have a board that's like transitioning. I would have a trans board. It would be transitioning to an X. But it would still be in the body of a 5 Pro. It would have dysphoria. Oh, and now this is flickering, so that's scary as hell. Okay, so does the board still work? Let's find out. It does seem to still work. Okay, so that's what all those menus do. Now let's go through this. It does nothing. Nope. After a long time, it jumps to this, which is telling us that the remote is at 60%. So that little symbol that was in the upper right-hand corner, it becomes big. If we click it again, it'll tell us the battery temp. It'll tell us the ESC temp. And they are both magically 86 degrees. I don't know. I wonder if it's 86 degrees outside. I'm not sure. Okay. Then we have signal strength. And I don't know what these really mean, but 35, 35, 44, 31, 31. I don't know if they're the same. It's good. Maybe one of these are I don't know what this means, and I don't know why this is useful, but I guess it's there. And you could watch it for a long time, and it would tell you the secret codes to the universe, maybe. Pushing it again, back to what our battery is on the controller. Push it again. Yep, battery temp. So it cycles between these things. Then, if you have a long hold, and wait a bit, then it goes back to the main screen. So if I not hold this down for a long time, but I tap it just real fast and wait a little bit for no good reason, it'll tell me the amps down here. So when I hold down the trigger, it'll show me how many amps are going to the prop as I drive it. Then if I push it again, just once, it will show me this. I don't know what this means. I mean, I know that MI means miles. I don't know where it's counting 60 miles from. Maybe the last time I reset the sensors that one time. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what this symbol means down here. It looks like a moon. No, it looks like a stopwatch. And then the number 4, and maybe that means 4 sessions. No, I've had a lot more than 4 sessions since that reset. And then 5407. Is that 54 minutes and 7 seconds? And I did 60 miles in 54 minutes and 7 seconds, or is that 4 hours? I don't know what this means, and I have no idea what this inclination line means. I don't know what that means. I don't know. That symbol, it looks like you went up. It looks like inclination. I don't know what it means. I don't know. These are meaningless to me. And yes, I guess I could read a manual to do it, but when's the last time you jumped in a car, looked at the dashboard, and then needed a manual to know what the numbers meant? I kind of feel like an eFoil, same thing. Shouldn't be necessary, in my opinion. It should be so obvious to anyone. RPMs, miles per hour, amount of gas you have left in your car. These things should never need a manual. I hop in rental cars all the time. I have never, ever in my life pulled out the manual to figure out how the car worked. And, you know, like if it's an odometer, then just make it be an odometer. You know, I don't know what it means though. We're gonna tap it again. RPM. This is pretty obvious. This is your RPMs, your rotations per minute that the prop spins. And the symbol down here is a little lightning bolt. I don't know what that why that's there. My guess is it's the symbol they chose to represent RPMs. That's my guess. They shouldn't have. There's already a symbol that is pretty commonly used for RPMs. We can talk about icon design at another time, but yeah, no, this could be just all better. And then we're back to this. Is this the stuff I would need? Is this the stuff that I want? I like miles per hour. I like to know where my battery is. I like to know what my virtual gear is. Since I ride most of the time at just 15, I would say, boy, if I could selectively swap out what was here for another piece of information, that would be better. Do I need to know amps? I mean, I don't really know how to use amps to help me, but I'm sure it's good for diagnosing some problems. But I guess this is the kind of thing where I'd want it to come on if it was an issue, or if I was doing, if I was doing testing, I guess I want to look at it. But I'd want to be able to record this because it's really hard to ride the board and look at this, right? So, if this is the kind of thing I want to record, then there should be a recording mode, so I know what that is later. So when I'm diagnosing a problem, I can deal with it later. The way it currently is, not very useful to me. I don't know what it means. And then when I hold it down and lock it down for some reason, this is big now. Don't know that's super necessary since it's already in the upper right hand corner. Maybe just make that icon better and you wouldn't need this. It seems like a huge waste of screen to show me. Sure, this is good. I would like to know that this would turn on, and if I could set like, hey, if it gets above 90 degrees, I want you to, replace my virtual gear or something. That would be actually more useful. And this signal strength, I don't have any clue what this is for or why. I'm sure it's some kind of diagnostic. I do know what that symbol means. That's a Bluetooth symbol. That's probably one of the first symbols that was really obvious to me, except for the battery symbol, what it means. So, I mean, there you go. That's what you can do with this remote. Is it great? No. Is it terrible? No. Is this stuff necessary? No. It's nice. The fact that they use this battery symbol and this battery symbol for both the board, it's a little bit weird. It's kind of like very inconsistent design. Here they showed a symbol of the controller. It's very small next to a battery. But then down here, they should have then shown a symbol of the board next to the battery. Like if you wanted to be consistent, right? But here there's like 70, big number 72. Is that the remote? Is that the board? You don't actually just obviously know just looking at it. What is this bar for? And does it change ever? I don't think so. I don't know what that is. I don't know. I would love for this to be another piece of graphable information, but I don't know what it does. Let's see. What did this board do? What did we decide this board did? Oh, it just powered it off. Yeah, I learned that when I was riding at full speed once. I'm like, oh yeah, what's this button do? It powers it off. I swear it does, but I guess you have... I don't know, man, that weirdly... Single tap to get it on, flickery screen, I've never noticed that before. Maybe it's because I brightened it. Oh, we're going 2 miles an hour, but I'm not moving. That's weird. Okay, I'm gonna actually go back to my settings here. I'm holding the button down, nothing happens. When I let go, God, guys, make a decision here. Am I using this wrong? Like I can't tell. Well, it's definitely auto dimming. Ah, crap. I accidentally hit the sync up with my board button. Now I have to go through this whole thing again. Great. I'm good now. I'd like to leave that screen. Okay, so I don't understand. Is this just like delayed? Is it random when I hit this? I can never tell. Oh, and that time it just went straight in. See, that I don't like. That's not responsive, and it makes me feel like I'm every time I use it, it feels like I'm trying to do a different thing to get into this screen, and I can't tell if it's a hold down thing, a delay thing, or just sometimes it registered and sometimes it doesn't. I don't like that. And let's see, this one. Oh, this is the brightness. And auto, I guess, is what I normally have it set for. I mean, gosh, when you use it, let's auto brighten it. Let's find out how long it takes to kill this battery, I guess. Okay, I think we covered all this stuff. How do I exit this? I'm clicking it. I know I'm clicking it. I didn't mean to change that setting, but it's for some reason changed. Click. Is it a double click? It's not a double click. Is it a hold click? Maybe it's a hold click. I don't know. You know what? Let's get to the bottom of this. What is it? I'm going to leave this menu. Okay. Is it a single click? That time it was a single click. Guys, make up your mind. It must be more responsive than this. The rules are terrible. I can't tell. Okay, so I'm definitely pushed the down button. Pushing the down button. Doesn't move down. Pushing the down button. Doesn't move down. Double clicking the down button. Doesn't move down. Holding the down button. Doesn't move down. Is it frozen? I don't know what's happening. Yep. So my advice to Lyft would be, you need to get a significantly better, not just interface designer. The interface design isn't as bad as the overall electronics consistency, the amount of time it takes to go from menu screen to menu. It's so inconsistent, it feels broken. I cannot for life of me right now understand why it won't go down. Oh my God, it's got such a delay on here. Now I swear it's just cycling through things. I should just shut this off and start over. Okay, minus button, 13. Plus button, 14 after a delay. These buttons work, but I swear to God, I go to settings, and it's, if I can get to settings, yeah, these are not currently functioning. This is the kind of shit that happens all the time. You Lyft, you need to solve this. This is frustrating. And it's one of those things that, like, everyone else on the planet has figured out how to do this. This, like, I had electronics kits for my children where they could program their own stuff into liquid crystal displays and LCD displays. And they could figure this out. I guess I don't understand what the holdup here is. All right, I'm shutting it off. We're starting it over. Something's amiss. Now it goes. I'm going to select this. I'm going to select full brightness, which after a delay did go, and then I'm going to select this button to select it, and I'm going to leave the menu screen. And I swear I set it to full brightness, but it dimmed on the way out. It's weird. Let's check that setting if I can get back to that menu. Okay, I'm going to stop complaining about the interface and its lag. It's obviously an issue. This is something that should be able to be fixed by software, I would think, software upgrade. If not, I just can't imagine you could be the only company on the planet that somehow got an EEPROM in here that is too slow to run the very minimalized quartz graphics going on here. All right, no. Like right now, I cannot tell why it's not going into the menu screen. Leave this. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about the interface. Like I said, I'm done bitching and moaning about the interface. I'm going to talk about something else. Here's a worry I've got. These little rubber touch pads, they have little tiny buttons inside, right? Okay. If I were to add up all the gear that I have that is advertised to be waterproof and is covered by these little rubber things that have broken, probably because I was frustrated with it not responding, and I probably dug my thumb into there to make sure I pushed the button that broke and like water got on there. I have a lot of them. Here's another example of where's my Walkman. Here, this is an example of it right there. Okay, this is covered in that rubber stuff, right? Now this is a $40 Walkman. I replace this, I don't know, once every season and a half because these break, right? But it's 40 bucks. I don't mind so much. This is $1,000. I'm gonna be pissed off the day my eFoil doesn't work because one of these have torn through and it doesn't work. So I'd be very careful about using this type of rubber thing. I think I would prefer actual buttons, like I think on the original remote you had, and like that are used on like C-Fly, for instance, or actual buttons. I also noticed that it's here as well. You've got one of those buttons on here. I'm really worried about that. Even though I can tell it's very thick and everything, there's a little button in here. There's a little pressure switch. It's like a nice way to make a waterproof switch. I get it. But I'm worried about it. I'm worried about this lasting. It's out in the hot sun a lot. It's black. You know, it's rubber, it's pliable. I'm just worried about it. It's hard to not dig your thumbnail into it because of the angle that you have to approach it at, right? I'm worried about this. Let's talk about the interface here. When it's on, to find out how much battery you got left, you just hold it down. But here's a problem. If you hold it down too long, like you're like, oh wait, how many bars do I have? You'll accidentally power off the board. That's annoying. Okay? To find out how much juice you got left, you know, again, you hold it down. But let's say it's in your car and you're like, I just want to see how long it's held down, but there's glare on it or whatever. So you hold it down a little too long. Oh, great. Now I powered it back up. Damn it, I don't want to power this on, right? This is an issue. When you use a delay as a mode setting switch or as a activator, the problem with it is that you're gonna have people try to use it to gauge where they are in their power, and they're gonna end up powering it on and powering it off accidentally. What do I suggest instead of that, yet still keeping it down to one button? I would suggest using the standard electronics push and push a second time but hold. This is commonly used in all sorts of electronics where you need to power up a device and they still use a single button to check the battery power. For instance, this is used by every drone I've ever flown. So like every DJI drone uses it. I have several like bike components and, you know, e-bike and e-skateboard components that use a very similar push and then hold the second time. What's nice about that is that first time you can hold it as long as you want without activating or deactivating the board. But when you want to activate it, it's always going to take 2 pushes. And that is just better, right? Gives you as much time as you need to read the gauge. And like I said, most people are going to take longer for this because it's glare. Like, dude, half the time when I'm checking my battery out here, I can't see this. And so I push it once. I couldn't see what it was. So I have to put my hand here and shield it and then awkwardly hold my other hand here to see it. And so, you know, push to look, push and hold to change its on or off status. Pretty simple. Other than that, I feel really, really good about everything else. I like the way this battery slaps in. It feels really solid. I don't know what happens if you get a couple of grains of sand in here or whatever, and I hope it's not bad, but I'm not about to try it and find out, right? I'm sorry. That is something I'm not willing to do with this board, is integrate sand into its components to find out. You know, same goes for the mast. I really like the way the mast snaps in there. It's one of those things I didn't think I needed, but now that I use it, it's great. I used to store my boards like always put together and everything and just pull them out in single pieces. I end up taking this apart every single time I ride it, putting it in its backpack and carrying it up, you know, carrying the eFoil with me. It is probably better for the board to do it that way. I let it dry out every time. I disconnect it every time. Not that I ever had issues with it with my other boards, keeping it connected all the time, but I don't know. It's so easy that I find doing that is better. It's easier. It's easier to carry in multiple pieces than it is as a single piece. Like I used to just throw my eFoil on my shoulder and carry it, you know, all put together. I don't do that anymore. I really like the way the wings snap on there. Again, didn't think that was a very useful feature, but now that I've got it, every time I need to pull out wrenches to switch my wing, I resent that I have to do that. So I got spoiled to use that feature very, very quickly, much faster than I thought. I love everything else about the board. I love the shape of the board. I love the color of the board. If you want to know the exact color of this board, get a piece of yellow frog tape. If you stick that to this board, you can't see the tape. That tells me, at least my cones and rods tell me, they're very, very close. So that's what color yellow it is. Love the handles. I use handles more than I thought. Every time I get off the board, I grab the handles. It's just second nature now. Every time I get off the Ultra L2, that board goes flying. You know, because I'm expecting a handle to be there and it ain't. I don't use handles a ton in riding. I have, I guess some, I don't use it in racing. I use it to play around with how hard I can turn a wing, mostly to keep me on the board when I'm really banking at slower speeds. But I don't use it. I don't use it really for riding very much. I do use it as a guide for where my feet are sometimes. Like I can feel this, so I can just like kick here and then know where my foot should be without having to look. I like it. If there's any issue with pulling this battery out of here without shutting it down first, I think that it would be smart for you to integrate some kind of positive stop here, so that's less likely to be possible. I don't mean to make like an impossible or really expensive engineering challenge here, but if you can destroy this board by pulling the battery out without shutting it off, that's going to happen to people, and I have done it. I have done it accidentally, where I thought I'd shut it down, and maybe I don't even know how I got distracted, but like maybe I started talking to someone and I just thought I'd gone through the shutdown sequence, and then I pulled it out of here and I realized, oh crap. Well, like if that's going to damage the battery to do that, that's a human error that is going to occur. And I think that you should figure out a way to keep that from happening. For instance, if I push this button and I lift up here, it shows these symbols. You see that? Saying, don't unlock me. It should have been accompanied by a sound, a warning sound or something, so that I didn't go any further. If that's the kind of thing that can wreck a board, then doing this shouldn't be allowed. Because it's too easy. I mean, what did I just wreck the board right now by doing that? No one should be able to destroy anything that easily on accident. So that is all the things about this board that I love and I wish would be improved, and things that worry me and things I'm really happy about. I hope that helped. I'm gonna go for a ride now. You guys want to come with me? Why don't you vote? You want to come with me? Yes or no? No or yes?